Bismillah.
So you better make me some tea. And we live now anyway, so they everybody hearing it.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashraful anbiya wa mursaleen. Sayyidina wa habibina al-Mustafa. Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsani ila yawmiddin. Wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyul azim. We'd like to welcome you all to tonight's broadcast of the Black Imams Roundtable. I'm Imam Faheem, a.k.a. the Imam of the Boom Bap, a.k.a. Arthur Fazzarelli, a.k.a. Red Caesar, a.k.a. the Garden State Warrior, a.k.a., and on and on and on. How's everybody doing? Alhamdulillah. We thank you all for tuning in tonight. I'm here with my fellow Imams and brothers, amigos, comrades. I have Imam Amin of Masjid Muhammad in Atlantic City, and I have the genius, the great, the Imam al-Akbar, Imam Naeem of Masjid Mukmin in Pittsburgh, inshallah. Pittsburgh, not Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh.
we got to be correct these days. And so we're here tonight, alhamdulillah. We all thank you all for joining. Before we get into it, we request that everyone please be sure to share tonight's broadcast on your platforms or on your own page. And also be sure to like, and also be sure to donate, inshallah ta'ala. We request a minimum of $10 per person. We reach hundreds of people through this broadcast, and we're very grateful. And the donations helps us to keep, doing the work that we do and being able to come to you. People through this broadcast, and we're very grateful for us to be able to come through every week, inshallah, try to offer some, words of advice. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to facilitate this endeavor for us. Amin. Okay, so tonight's topic is how do we build resilient communities? And well, before we start, we want to ask by a number of yeses or anything. Is there anyone who wants to participate, interact with us? Let us know. And, I think Imam will put the link up and you could join in. But I got a few ground rules. Make sure you bring some substance and not just getting on here to talk, because, we're going to start timing it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, this is our platform and we're here to serve you. But don't get on here. You know how you bring a fan on stage and then they think they can sing your song? No, we the Temptations, baby. You can't do it like us. We the lead singers. Temptations forever. MashaAllah. So tonight's topic is we're talking about how do we build resilient communities. And when we discuss this topic, because it's a very important topic, and in all honesty, I think it is really the missing element, for us as African American Muslims, not having resilient and stable and functioning communities like we used to have. If you look up the word in community in the dictionary, it's not a compound word, but it does have two words. It has communi, which is from Latin, means something common, and it has unity. So we put it together, it means like common unity. And this is something we have to understand, that we need a common unity that binds us all together. And outside of us being, bonded by La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we have to start, unifying on different elements that will make us stronger. We have to understand what community is, and what we've lost. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he tells us in the Quran, Inna hadihi ummatukum ummatan wahida wa ana rabbukum fa'budun. So that's the formula. He said, indeed, your deen is one deen, your ummah is one ummah, and I'm your Lord, so worship me. So that sets the standard for us that, before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are essentially one ummah. And then under that umbrella, we are all on the same page with respect to our Aqidah and our methodology and our, our spiritual approaches to the deen. And now we have to take all of those ingredients and put them together and understand what a community is, and really make the sacrifice. I mentioned before, I don't know if it was on this platform or my page or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But, we need another kind of a sacrifice like the great immigration that took place in America, I think it was in the 40s. After the Depression was over, the Great Depression, a lot of the Black families started moving, up north into the Midwest and out west and stuff like that. And, they made tremendous sacrifices, to take advantage of some of the opportunities that were available for them, and I think, for us to have a community, if we don't do that as a collective, we need to find places that are already doing it and, really make that leap of faith and join communities who are already, striving and trying to build, and they just need more soldiers. They need more ideas. They need more, people to bond with them, and that's something that we really need to look into wherever we are, try to make sure, even if we can't do it as how we, come together as a family, as 3453, wherever we are, really unite with the Muslims and give it everything that we got. You look at the examples of many of the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At any given moment, you will find them ready to give it everything that they got, for the bigger picture, to build the ummah, to build the community. And, and as a result, we've seen that they had remarkable resilience and, fighting off the enemies, had remarkable resilience in building the communities and having them stabilized and working and having them prosperous and having them functioning. And, and the Muslims at that time took over, most of the civilized world during that time, and it was a concentrated effort. Everybody's on the same page, and even, Sheikh Hamza Youssef always used this term very often, that, unity doesn't mean uniformity. Unity doesn't necessarily mean uniformity. So even when we are uniting, we putting our money and our ideas together, everything won't be exactly the same as we pictured it. Every idea won't be accepted. Everything won't be, put together in a nice package. But at the same time, we learn how to move together forward. Because sometimes when we lose our resilience because we fall out with each other, we don't want to support, we want to withdraw our support, or we make it conditional of what our support is. For instance, if I give my money, then I want this to happen. Like, I want to become the boss of what I think it should be, but I don't really know the particulars behind the scene. Or if I do something, I'm looking for, okay, what happened? Instead of really doing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you don't worry about the outcome. You leave it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, knowing and trusting full well that the best outcome is with Allah. So that's one thing we got to get back to, learning how to be an ummah under one community, and knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the disposer of all of our affairs. And really just working together, getting back to those tremendous sacrifices. Many of us, I don't know if we really understand what it means to make a tremendous sacrifice, because we become so pampered in this society, and everything is about the individual and us gaining individual success. And, and I listened to this talk. I can't remember who did the talk, but what they were saying in the talk, they said, they were saying in an American society, right, that if you start off with a team, you probably won't be successful. You won't be successful. He said, but if you start off as an individual and then you get like-minded people and then you over them, that's the success model in America, right? But the success model for us as Muslims that we've already seen is as a team, we're like-minded, everybody's on the same page, and we're on the same goals, right, wrong, or indifferent, because we're one ummah, so we have to kind of bring that concept into America, in our American construct of what we know as community and living. We have to bring that concept back, because everyone's committed until something disturbs their individual comfort. And that's something we got to get over. Everyone's committed. Everyone's ready. Everyone is, okay, I'm there, what you need, until their individual comfort is disturbed. And then sometimes they pull out, sometimes they withdraw, things like that we can't do. We got to move forward at all costs because, for the bigger goal, we're talking about, at the very least, survival of our people in America. Survival of our people as Black people in America in general, and survival as us as Black Muslims in particular, because if Black people, are becoming extinct in this country, then so are we, and it's something that we really have to, really start planting these seeds and planting these trees so we can see something grow, something that we might not live to see, Well, I mean, we've been conditioned as such that, we got to see everything. We got to see all the fruits. We got to have all this success. We got to achieve this by this. We got to have this much money in the bank. We got to do this, all that, and the other. And the reality is, all of that is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no real plateau that one is supposed to reach in this life. You go through this life, and it's like Allah says, you worship until it comes to you the truth, meaning death. You worship till it comes to you the yaqeen, So that's my opening stuff. And
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. When I was thinking about this topic, and it was related from last week, right? Because we all have ideas that we would like to see manifest themselves. But the question becomes, like, how do you do it, right? And I know as an Imam, if I could bring out what's in my mind, man, it would be great. In my mind, what I would like to see happen, man, we'd be floating, right? However, the buy-in part, I think, is the most difficult part, right? And getting us to understand what we need before what we want. I think those are two difficult tasks that we have to overcome. Number one, first buy into the idea that we as a collective need to build sustainable community, institutions in the various aspects of the world, right? That's one challenge. To buy into just that idea, like, we have to do some things for not only ourselves, but succeeding generations, right? That's one point. Then getting people who's actually going to do the work, which is very difficult because it's easy to say what I want, but very difficult to do what you need to do to get what you want. And a lot of times in our work, we put the cart before the horse. So we put all our wants and totally forget about what we need. I want this, I want this, I want this. What do you need? Right? It becomes just a bunch of wants. And when there is a bunch of wants, that makes it more difficult. It compounds things, right? We're already working from a stage that we don't have that much energy. Many of us, if we really be honest, we burn out. Anyone who's been in this deen working for 20, 30 years, most of us are burnt out, right? And we just hanging on. We just around. But the work that's needed to build these communities, most of us don't have it. And that's where it is important that we get the buy-in and the participation of the young adults. And I think when we say youth, that should be a focal point, the young adults, right? And those young adults should be the one who train the real youth. So when I think about sustainable communities, I think about those things: buy-in and finding our needs. What do we really need? I know what we want. What do we need? And I think that's something we all got to come together on. You might notice a lot of times I don't mention a bunch of Quranic verses, hadith, when I'm trying to get a point across to us. The reason why I don't do that, because I realize that hasn't worked for us the way we do it. It's been just formalism. Allah say this, the Prophet say this, and in reality, you're saying nothing. Right? Like it's like Allah said this, the Prophet said this, in reality, you're saying nothing. And I think we need to get more into the reality of what Allah wants from us and what the Prophet ﷺ wants from us, more than just quoting it. Because in the time of the Sahaba, radiyallahu ta'ala anhum, they were more engaged in the actual work of what the Muslim community needed than talking about and quoting the ideal of it. The idea of it, they were working towards it. And I think we need to get back to practicality in our communities. What really works? What are we really doing? And I think when we get back to that, we'll have a better buy-in, right? We start talking to people where they're at, not where we imagine them to be, right? We're going to discover in our communities the fruits that we need to build what we want. It's available, but I think we're disconnected somehow. And one of my teachers, he says something to me. Don't push people away from the deen by way of the deen. To me, I think that's so significant in why we're not accomplishing our objectives with building strong communities. Because we're using the deen, right? And the way we're using it are pushing people away from it, right? And I think we need to examine that. If we want to build healthy communities, that's what we should focus on. And that's just a part of my thought. I have more, but that's my opening thoughts about the issue.
Before you go on, Imam Naeem, let's give a special shout to Miss Joanne. Miss Joanne is in the building. You know, Assalamu alaikum, Miss Joanne. How you doing?
Miss Joanne, may Allah reward you. You are a pillar of patience. That's an inside joke for Farouk.
Miss Joanne, stay in the building. Notice that. I recognize you. I see you, Miss Joanne. I see you. And you still didn't elaborate on your son DJing. We want more details about that. Him being in the club and stuff that you mentioned. We want more details about that, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Wa afdalu salatu wa atamu taslim ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Wa radiyallahu ta'ala an sadat al-tabi'in wa ulama al-amalin wa a'immatul arabatul mujtahidin wa muqallidin ila yawmiddin. Amma ba'd. Alhamdulillah, while both of you were talking, I was jotting down some things. I'm not going to mention everything. at least not yet in my introductory comments. But one of the things that just jumped out at me is what Imam Amin just mentioned about the buy-in being the most difficult part. And I see this across the board. Uh, and people around me are always telling me that you that you have to explain and articulate the vision to the people more frequently and more vividly so that they can buy in. And you know what crossed my mind, especially since I got the Imam of the Boom Bap right above me? The Wu-Tang series. I don't know how many of y'all have been watching the Wu-Tang series. Wu-Tang Clan is a music group, a hip-hop music group, and they started a series, executive produced by them, dramatizing their story, their rise. And one of the things that they seem to emphasize in the series is how some of them didn't even get along with each other. They were from different parts of Staten Island and almost end up shooting each other, all at the same time, while the RZA is trying to bring them together. Some of them were like, serious about rhyming. Some of them were getting disillusioned with the whole thing. Everybody was at different stages. Some people were struggling with, just coming home from prison and trying to get acclimated to the streets. Everybody had their own different struggle that they was dealing with. And all of them were broke, poor. And one of the things that stood out to me is that the RZA required a buy-in from them. And so he was saying some things to them like, listen, I done been in the music game. I had a failed music career my first time starting. Listen, I know how to do it now. Y'all got to trust me. He was like, man, I don't know about all that stuff. And, just, how we do. He was like, give me 5 years. Listen, just give me 5 years. Just listen to me. Give me 5 years. And some of them reluctantly gave him 5 years, right? And now we see what we see. But this deep, remember, we know some of them have became Muslim, like Ghostface and Raekwon, right? But remember, at this time, at least none of them is Muslim. They're all 5%ers. They all had to agree that RZA would be the leader. RZA was the Amir. And even if you listen to them now on different interviews, they all refer to him as the leader. They defer to his judgment. And so when we talk about this concept, and just when Imam Amin was talking about buying, all of that, what I just said just came to my mind. And, and we look at these things like, they had to buy in, even if they were skeptic. I don't think this is going to work, but they bought into it. They said, listen, okay, you got 5 years. You got 5 years of my life. Whatever you say do, I'm going to do it. And Allah gave them success in the music industry. Right? When I hear community, in my mind, the word I hear in Arabic is jama'ah. When I hear the word community. And in community, when I hear that word, a verse jumps in my mind. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Hold to Allah's rope altogether and do not be divided. That word, jami'an, like Jum'ah, jama'ah, community. And when I hear community, jama'ah, in that verse, a statement of Umar ibn al-Khattab comes to my mind. And it's very important for us to understand, what Umar said, subhanAllah. He said, إِنَّهُ لَا إِسْلَامَ إِلَّا بِجَمَاعَةٍ. Verily, there is no Islam without jama'ah, it's community. وَلَا جَمَاعَةَ إِلَّا بِإِمَارَةٍ. and there is no jama'ah or community without leadership. Wala imarata illa bita'atin, and that there's no leadership without obedience. And in conclusion of my opening remarks, you see how something totally disconnected from Islam with the dunya, music. If you pay attention what I just quoted from Umar ibn al-Khattab, there's no Islam without Jamaat. There's no Jamaat without uh, there's no Jamaat without leadership, and there's no leadership without obedience. And if you just reflect on what some of you, I'm looking in the comments, you know exactly what I'm talking about Wu-Tang. You see how they knowingly or unknowingly applied the Islamic principle of, okay, you can look at their Islam as the music industry. You want success in the music industry? There's no success in the music industry without uh, without community. They came together. They formed the Wu Tang. It was individual rappers. Okay, now you come together and form as a community. You need leadership. Okay, they agreed on the RZA's leadership, and obviously coming with that, just having a leader that you're not going to obey don't make no sense. He's not really your leader. They had to agree to obey him, and they agreed to this, and they got success in that industry. In a lot of ways, they made history, but this is not a Wu Tang top set, right? They made history in a lot of ways, on a business wise. And so, if you understand that and you can relate to that, there's a formula, there's a template, there's a recipe with success in this dunya. And Islam has given us that template. If we want success, we have to apply that. We have to apply that. We have to come together. We have to recognize leadership amongst us. And we have to obey that leadership amongst us. A lot of you have mentioned, like, we at the stage where, like Imam Faheem mentioned, like, I'll support, I'll engage, but if my opinion, my idea isn't acted upon the way I wanted to be acted upon, when I wanted it acted upon, I'm going to take my goods, my toys, and I'm gonna go home. I'm not going to participate anymore. You know, that's a recipe for success. And one last thing I was going to say, I was listening to a lecture today on YouTube. I might put it in the comments. It was a lecture given about a month ago by Professor PLO Lumumba. He's a very scholarly dude. I forget his resume, but he's a scholar, and I even think he had death threats on him. But this YouTube video went up about a month ago. He's based, I forgot what country he's from. I forgot. But he's speaking in Ethiopia. And the title of the video is really based upon his last few comments. He said the title of the video is Africa in the next 25 years will be recolonized. And he gives a little bit of history, and he talks about what's going on now and how if we, meaning the Africans on the continent, don't change certain ways that they're doing things, they're going to be recolonized. They're going to go backwards. And when he's talking, I'm sitting there looking at the screen like, subhanAllah, this is the same thing that we're saying. He's just talking about in Africa, in that context. The same thing we talking about the Black Muslim community being extinct and all of these things. He's saying the same thing. All you got to do is just exchange words. It's saying the same thing. And he was talking about how each country, like all the 55 countries on the African continent, they all divided. And he was just, I don't want to talk too much. Maybe I'll elaborate on that later. But I was telling my wife, I was like, we have the exact same problem in the Islamic community. We have the same problem inside of our individual communities, meaning our individual masjids, and then on a greater level, intermasjid wise, we have the exact same problem that he was talking about. And this is the division. And the division that, like Imam Faheem mentioned, it's not that everybody got to look the same. A lot of people think unity means that, you know, you have to give up your right to decide what you're going to do, your own self-determination, and you got to fall in line with this person or that person, and I got to eat what they eat, dress the way they dress, say what they say, and all that. No, unity is not uniformity, but unity is different parts working together, and the term is synergy. Like a car, any machine, or the human body working together. They're different parts, they're different sizes, made up of different materials, but they work together to make the thing, the machine, the car, the bike, the human body, whatever, work properly. And so, alhamdulillah, I was just what I planned to say. I didn't say it. It was just what you said about the buy-in. It just, you know, really made me think about all of that. And so those are my opening comments.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Yeah, and for the record, for our representation of Wu-Tang, Imam Amin is the RZA, Imam Naeem is the Jizza. And contrary to popular opinion, I am not the light-skinned boy on the Wu-Tang. I'm Inspector Deck. All right. You know,
The deck was nice though.
that's what I'm saying. The other boy was trash. You know what I mean? Yeah, but alhamdulillah. So we want to take a moment quickly. If there's anyone in the audience who wants to want to get on for a few minutes, and if you want to do some input, the time is now, and we'll probably revisit it. But if not, we'll keep going. If you have any input, we're definitely interested. I mean, if you have any ideas about what community means to you and stuff like that, we would like to hear it. And just as a incentive, what we're doing here is similar to the stuff that we're talking about. That we've built a support system, we built a community online, and each week, we are raising this vibration up between us, and what I mean, that we able to talk, we're able to converse. We're able to discuss ideas. We're able to meet up in person. We got a couple seminars coming up. We got a couple things that we're doing. Some people we've met, behind the scenes offline, or, reached out by way of private messaging and stuff like that. And, so what we're doing is, so we just need to keep that buy-in idea together, let's stay together no matter what, make your schedule. Like if Tuesday is the only way you can do it, make sure you're here on Tuesday. If you only can make post-fajr reflections, change your schedule up no matter what, keep going, keep us going, you know what I mean? Because we can't do nothing. If we're not able to serve you all, then we're I ain't gonna say worthless, but we don't have a job to do, and we need a job to do, and we here, we work for you, so yeah. Go ahead.
I was looking at the comments and I saw this comment. It said unity is becoming a very far away concept when you have leaders who can't even cooperate together in piety and righteousness. There will always be an enemy or opposition to fight. Once refuting the Salafis got old, Ahl Sunnah began to fight among themselves. And, I don't know what our brother Hussein means by that, but if he wants to clarify it, he can. But from what I understand is this: I think a lot of this has nothing to do with Ahl Sunnah. We got some Negro problems that we have that has nothing to do with religion at all. We may cover it with religion, but these are good old-fashioned Negro stuff with some of us. Has nothing to do with religion. And religion is used to cover your Negro stuff, right? And I think a lot of what is deemed as fighting among each other is that, right? Because when we have Ahl Sunnah, is clear, there's nothing to fight about, right? We have an agreement on those things we believe in. We have wide understanding of those things we differ in, and they have been accepted for 1,200 years or more. So I don't think that's the issue. So it's two things: either ignorance of Ahl Sunnah or some other ego stuff that people's working with that's being put forth under religious guise, right? But it's really something else. That's what I see. And I think we have to recognize that, right? Sometimes we don't want to deal with our issues. You know, so I think we got to call it out as it is, right? Sometimes we know what this stuff is, and come on, knock it off. You know what you're doing, right? That ain't religion. That's some other stuff, and we can call it out straight up. Yo, bro, that's something else. That ain't nothing done with religion. And I think we need to be real with each other with that. You know, if we're going to, you know what I mean, really make progress, right? We got to be able to say, hey, that ain't right. That's wrong, right? And I think that goes to what Imam Naeem was talking about when he's talking about leadership. As long as you're doing the right thing, I don't care who's the leader, right? You're doing the right thing and you have the ability to do the job. And even if you don't have the ability, we can help you and strengthen you in the areas you're weak in. Never going to tear you down, right? Wherever you are weak at, we're going to help build you up. That's a spirit of Islam. You see someone trying to tear somebody down, look for reasons why they don't have to support or have to follow. That has nothing to do with religion. That's not religious, right? And trust me, that's a heart error. That's a heart disease. And if it wasn't Ahl Sunnah or some other stuff, they're going to find it in Crips and Bloods, Democrats and Republicans. You know, they'll find somewhere else to get that disease out. It doesn't have to necessarily be religion. That's my thoughts on it. And if you want to like bounce off on it, you're welcome. But that's what I think about all the time when I hear that. When I see a person going against what we're doing, I'm like, what are we doing? Y'all listen to us every day. We're talking about building, learning, doing things. What's your beef? Like, what you beefing about? Right? Ain't no one calling no one to sin. No one's calling no one to do anything haram, telling you to follow traditional Islamic scholarship, giving you the route, pointing you to learning. What are you talking about? So when someone has a difference to that type thing, that just tells me it's something else going on in your heart that you need to fix, right? And you'll notice whenever those people are put on the spot, they clam up, right? Like, whenever they put on the spot, they clam up. People will have that type of nature. That was just my thoughts on that.
Man, we told y'all we was the Temptations. You know what I mean? This how it go. When we at the Copa, we on stage. Some of y'all be acting like David Ruffin. You want to try to take the spotlight. And we'll keep our cool, right? We got to perform. We can't perform. When we get backstage, we coming for your ass. You understand? That's all this is about. You know what I mean? We here to serve you. You know, don't let all this nonsense get in the way. You know, and you know, to say this without even boasting, you know, we ain't like a lot of imams. You know, we service. You know, we've been in service long before anything is social media was even on the scene. You know, y'all just getting to know us, but we've been in service for a long time. And we're going to continue to do it because that's what we're here for, you know. And like Imam Amin just mentioned, you know, listen, if you can take the lead, I don't care who get the credit or who get the glory, none of that. The job get done. You know, when you step on stage, if you grab the mic, I'm jumping right on the turntables. You know what I mean? I'm going to scratch and mix for you so you can get your voice out. If you get on the turntables, I'm breaking out the linoleum. I'm going to do a couple breakdance moves. But we all working together as a unit. We need to keep the unit together, you know what I mean, and go forward. I mean, because this is, you know, just on this virtual platform, we got a very special thing going, you know, and you know, this can extend to many things. We got a spin-off show with our youth. We got a number of people coming. We got a number of scholars. We got a big program coming in February. And even if none of that stuff happens, we're still working, you know. Like I always tell people, you know, they often call me for, you know, talks or khutbahs and stuff. I like, listen, I'm not just sitting around waiting to be heard. You know, if nobody else calls me again, I got a whole community to service, you know, and they my people, you know what I mean? So they got priority with me. So I don't really got to take no gigs, you know what I mean? You know, I don't got to wait till Otis learn how to sing, you know what I mean? I can go do my own thing.
Hey, I gotta do a little what's his name? What's the singer dude? Tag from Atlanta. The dancing dude.
The dancing dude.
Usher.
Oh, I'm about to say, you said Atlanta, man. That's a little
Ain't he from Atlanta? Isn't that where he's from? Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
You know, the dancing dude.
Yeah, the dancing dude.
He had that song Confessions.
Yeah, the dancing dude.
So I got some confessions, Imam.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know that gig you took? They called me the next week. I upped the ante on him and took that gig.
Bravo. Bravo.
So I thank you for paving the route.
Bravo. Yeah.
When you told me to pay for that gig, I was like, man, that's nice. When they called me, I was like, oh man, I'm busy, but for a little extra.
For me, I gotta change my schedule. Palms gotta be greased, you know what I mean? Adjustments, you know what I mean? Costumes. Man, this stuff costs.
So you might be getting another call because I don't think they're gonna keep calling me at that rate.
Well, guess what? It's gonna go high or match it.
That was the design.
Oh boy, I knew you was the genius.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but that was all I had. But yeah, I mean, really, we really appreciate this. I mean, I really get a lot out of this platform and engaging people, and you know, I mean, we really appreciate you all and the things that you guys are doing. Even, you know, giving us your time, and it gives us energy to keep going. I'm gonna tell you, I got a confession too, real quick.
Hey, wait a minute, Imam. I was listening to Fat Joe before I talked. After I talked to him, I saw my message. Then I was thinking about Fat Joe. Today's price is not yesterday's price.
I got a confession too. You know, there was a period, and you know, it happened. I'm sure with the other imams it happens every once in a while. Imam, I mean, you mentioned about, you know, sometimes we get burnt out, and you know, there was a time where I was just like, man, I was just ready to walk away. You know, like I'm good, man. Like why do I have to put up with this nonsense? You know, and then I heard something from Imam Amin, and I do hear every once in a while. He said, man, we got another 20 years to work out. And I'm like, what? Man, I already got 25, man. I already put my retirement papers up, you know what I mean? But at this kind of work, it ain't no retirement, you know. We do got another 20, whatever Allah wills for us, you know. So those kind of things will, you know, pick me up. And then when we have people that appreciate us like you all do, that tune in every week and donate and support, like this keeps us going. So we really, you know, we giving you out your flowers now, you know, because we appreciate you all.
Man, that comes what you just said, Imam Faheem, I was just telling Issa, you know our brother Issa Abdullah here? He spent the day with us. He's on the way back home now. But I was telling him that, and I mentioned it, I think, at the beginning of my class that we just had this evening. Issa said, Imam Naeem, any confessions? Yeah, I'm about to confess right now, right? I think about stepping down every day. Like every day it crossed my mind. Like, shoot, man, I could be doing this. I could be doing that. Man, listen. And sometimes, I'd be like, man, they don't care. Why should I care? Right? Shaitan be talking, boy. Like, because I was saying it in the context earlier. I was like, because I know some people who pretend like they be version of imams catfishing, trying to recruit people for their community. And they use social media and have people think that they got it going on and popping. The masjid is bubbling, activities going on all over the place. And I told the story how one imam did this. The brother got there, was nothing going on. They didn't even have a building for the masjid. I was being real vague. I didn't say who it was, but y'all know who it was, right?
Say that again?
I didn't mention then. I'm not going to mention it here, but y'all two know the person too.
Yeah. What you said. I was looking at Hussein. Hussein is taking shots at imams, and I'm getting ready to shoot back at him. You keep it up. Right.
Duck down, Hussein. These things coming back rapid fire.
I was talking about
Hussein, grab the microphone, man.
Yeah, get on the mic.
I was talking about how imams be catfishing for followers to move to their communities, and they get there, ain't nobody there. Right?
I know exactly.
Oh, yeah. I keep telling people that. Don't rush to Atlantic City. It ain't like you think. Man, Imam, I'm moving to Atlantic City. Don't move here if you ain't ready to work. Right?
So I'm telling Issa,
don't think that it looks like that. No. You come here, you're gonna be in the trenches of work.
And
so
you already
rush here thinking you're gonna come to some big community. It's laid out, and Imam is giving lessons in Arabic. No. Work.
And you already seen us on the news in Camden. You come to Camden, I'm gonna put some dope fiends on you to see how you built before you even can do anything.
Put some dope fiends, and there's plenty of them walking.
Plenty of them, man. And they work for me sometimes too. Like, hey, man, what you need? Man, dust this dude off, man. This guy talking about he built like that.
Because Issa was here, and I was like, look, yesterday Issa was one person in class with you, right? And today you was the only one in class today. So if Issa wouldn't been here today, I'd have been just talking to you all who was on class online, not no one there in the masjid.
Then the people be like, people don't realize that, because this internet can fool you, right? People be thinking, oh yeah, we're just gonna come hang out, drink some coffee, and la. This stuff is a lot of work. And that's why all y'all and myself be talking about being burned out. This is 24 hours a day, right? No time for sleeping. When you sleeping, you awake, even while you sleep. And until we get a bunch of committed people, and I think this goes for most imams in the Black community, across the board. And that's why sometimes when people attack imams, I'm not saying there are imams that are not got issues. I'm not saying that. I know there are, like, people, they got issues. But in the Black community, most imams are hard workers. I don't care what they are, whether, even in the so-called Salafi community, the imam, most of them in the Black community are killing themselves to keep the community together. That's just our stuff. So it's easy to criticize when we ain't supporting like we should. And the imam got to do whatever he got to do just to keep things afloat. And I guarantee you can put imams across the country, Black imams, and I know a lot of them, my friends, right? Besides these two beautiful gentlemen. And it's the same story everywhere. When we get behind the scenes and imams talk, it's the same stuff. I don't care who they are, right? I've seen imams with big communities, and you would think, man, y'all got all these people, you should be rolling. Nope, right? Man, you got Jummah's 1,000 people. So what? Right? What does that mean? 1,000 people, and he worked just as hard and struggling as a person with 50 or 20. So for me, I'm really sensitive to that, because usually the ones doing the most complaining are doing the least work. Repeat, the ones doing the most complaining are doing the least work. There are exceptions. There are exceptions. But I'm serious. Sometimes you should take time just to roll with the imam. You know what, imam? I'm going to roll with you and see what's going on. And if you roll with the imam for a minute, be with him. What imam you know talking about $10,000 dowries? Whoa. Now,
Okay.
I can talk about $5,000 dowries, right? But I wonder how much of this, just as a thing, now, if you got some imams talking about $10,000 dowries, they some good imams. At least they care about the sisters, right? There's a reason why they saying that. But I don't know too many black communities. They talking about $10,000 dowries. I think that's exaggeration. But if you're talking about this black imam who talks about $5,000 dowries, it's because of what I've seen. What I've seen are so many jokers abusing sisters for free. That's why I say it. And let's keep it a bean, not to be boasting. If you're a real man, $5,000 ain't no money when you're taking care of your family. If you're a real man.
Uh-oh, you about to open a $5,000 can of worms.
He opened
You know,
it.
that's a trigger.
It's time for Hussein to get on the mic with the rhymes galore, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Real, you know.
Now, and I don't want to be, I'm like, don't want to sound like boastful. Let's keep it real. I wish all I had to pay is $5,000 to take care of my family. You know, I wish that was all that was concerned.
No, this subject on this platform is like in a women's group and bring up the subject of polygyny.
No, that's what I'm saying. So a guy telling me and who's saying I don't mind having a talk with you about it, right? If you're telling me that $5,000 is a deal breaker, you ain't ready to build no community. Tell me, for me, someone tells me that, man, $5,000, and you worrying about that with all the money we need and all the money we gotta spend, and $5,000 is a deal breaker, man, I can't roll with that. I can't respect it. Now, if you don't got it, we men, I'm gonna show you how to get it. I don't have 5,000. Okay, we're gonna show you how to get it. But we can't afford to be men talking about, I can't afford a $5,000 dowry. And that's it. That's the end of the conversation. Like, for me, that's serious talk. It ain't about the money. It's about the man crying about the money. And in my mind, I'm gonna be honest, it's about the boy crying about the money, because I don't respect no man like that. And I'm not gonna disrespect you, but for what we gotta do, and you crying about $5,000, man, bro, I don't want nobody in my army like that. Serious. Like, you're afraid. If you worrying about 5,000, what about the 100K we got to do, or the 20K, or the 15K we got to do for the roof, we got to do for the bathrooms, we got to do for this, we got to do for that? Imams, y'all know those big bills, right? Y'all have seen those big bills, right?
Yeah, we got them big bills hanging over our heads.
Right?
They're looming.
Where we gonna be when we talk about that? You crying about $5,000, and we talking about building communities? Come on, man, can't be serious. You can't be serious. Now, any imam who's a real imam will be able to tell you that, because you're talking about just a woman. You're talking about women. You're talking about children. You're talking about families. You're talking about the masjid. You're talking about, and you worry about $5,000? Come on, you can't be serious, bro.
You talking about practice?
Yeah, you can't be serious. And I'm not attacking you. I love you, bro, but I'm just saying, like, that's why I
Imam
offered you
Faheem,
the mic.
Imam Amin seemed kind of triggered by that $5,000
Yeah. Because
But they push hard, man.
listen, now why I say that seriously. We're talking about building sustainable communities,
They hit the DEFCON 5 button on you, man.
right?
Hold on, and Miriam Rose.
No.
He said, keep it a
Hussein,
bean.
no disrespect. Listen, Hussein, no disrespect. Keep it real. Keep it real. Everybody in my community, everybody in Imam Naeem's community, everybody in Imam Faheem's community. I'm talking about us. I ain't speaking about these ghost imams you're talking about, whoever they may be. Everyone in our community will tell you how much we have to sacrifice. None of us want to do it. Trust me, I would love to keep my money with my family. Everyone in our communities will tell you how much we have to sacrifice regularly. So for me, I'm like, what are you talking about? So you don't have to exit. You can grab a microphone and clarify yourself, right? You're welcome. You don't have to exit. But my thing is, if it's that easy for us to exit, how serious are we? And that's what we do with the community. I'm out of here. We were just talking about that. Don't be out of here. Defend your position. Make it make sense to where our sisters who cook, who clean, who raise their children, who take their money and donate to the masjid, help in the masjid, help the brother when he ain't doing nothing, don't deserve a $5,000 dowry. Make that make sense to me. Right? Make it make sense.
Don't run down, boy. You acting like Jack Spade, the soldier. Now they shooting.
Man, I just want to acknowledge Miriam Rose because she peeped it just like I peeped it. She said, Imam Amin coming up. He know how to use keep it a bean on the fly. He done said it like 2 or 3 times this show. I remember a couple of shows ago, he was like, well, bean, what, like, how do you say it? The bean? Or like, he didn't know how to use it.
This is serious stuff. I mean, if we're talking about building communities and our women, like, all right, you don't got no money. You don't have it. I got it. Some of us don't have no money. But you don't think that sister's worth it? You don't think that that's something we should push our brothers to be responsible? I mean, that's not something we even consider. Just don't worry about it. Go ahead, continue to do nothing, and that's fine.
Miss Joanne said hers is retroactive from 1969. Woo! Oh, he really
I'm telling you what.
Looked like he rolled out.
I mean, that's not surprising.
He ducking right. Listen, it's easy to talk junk,
Very difficult to walk that walk.
Come on the yard, boy. Come on
And
the yard, young
I
boy.
mean, that's just something we got to get rid of. Like, listen, come on, man.
Okay, there you go. That boy came out the yard. He came off the tier.
I was saying you can come on the mic. Maybe you can express yourself better. Ain't nobody going to attack you. We family. We just having a family discussion. You said 5K for a combative, disobedient woman who gives the husband bare minimum, barely wants to learn and practice Islam, but can pretend well before the public. Trust me, I've seen it all firsthand. I don't have no woman like that. Never did. Never did.
Samira's
sisters I know.
Samira's kind of combative though. He got maybe like 20% correct on that one with Samira.
Samira outwork about 90% of the brothers that be talking junk. Samira will outwork about 90% of the brothers talking junk. Am I right or wrong?
Well, she is right now.
Who said you better not come on the stage, boy? You're gonna get hit with about 4-5 tomatoes.
I don't know, Hussein. I think we are attracting what we are giving off. Right? I think we might need to consider that. What kind of men are we that we keep getting these women who are so bad? Why we attract such women? Right? Why we attract such women? That's just something we should ask ourselves. It's a point where we say it's so many that what are we doing wrong that we attracting? Because I don't attract those kind of women. And I think all of us are very happy with our wives. I know we are, right? Extremely happy with our wives. I wish I had 10 men like my wives. I wish I had 10 men like that. If I had 10 brothers like my wives, forget about it. It's a wrap, right? But you know how hard it is to find a man like my wife? You know how hard it is to find a man dedicated like my wife? That's not an easy task. And I'm speaking personally. And I watch the other wives, and I know their wives, and I would say the same thing. I wish I could find some men like Imam Faheem's wife or Imam Naeem's wife. I wish I had 10 men like that.
Yeah, let me do a shameless plug real quick. My wife listening. Assalamu alaikum, sweetie. You know I love you, baby. I wish I had 10 more like you.
Me too, Samira. I second Imam Faheem's sentiments. You know, I was just joking when I said you were like 20% confrontation.
I wish I had 3 more like you.
So I think we need to check ourselves as men. Seriously. A lot of us be faking jacks. And we messing up the game. And we messing up the game. A lot of dudes are faking jacks. And we messing up the game.
Yeah, and that actually ties into our topic about the community, because if we don't have stable Muslim families that begin with stable men and women being married, you know, we forget about it, you know, and we allowing this society to really take our power away from us in a traditional family unit. But that's a whole nother discussion. But you know, we'll continue. But now we in the mix of it. Let's bring that link back up for the donations. And then we have a link for what is it called? A survey. Are we still doing that?
What's that? That's
somebody calling me on Facebook, man. See? You want to spend the day with me, all types of stuff happen. You know what I mean? A brother was with me last week, man. He was like, I had like 5 or 10 phone calls, and we was only together for like an hour. He was like, oh man, I couldn't do it. I know you couldn't. Yeah.
This is the brother say I'm fronting. Hey, yo, if you think I'm fronting, these brothers know me for years, right? They know me for years. I welcome you. Come to Atlantic City and just hang out and see what it takes to be an imam.
Wait, is he saying you specifically, or he just saying in general?
Well, he's talking about me because I said, if you don't got $5,000, see, I think they misunderstanding.
Yeah.
I know some people don't got $5,000. And that ain't what we're talking about. We're not talking about $5,000. That's not what we're talking about. Because if you don't have money, that's not what would determine your manhood. That's not what we're talking about. But when we're talking about you complaining about the money, that already tells me what the marriage is going to be like. You can pay the bills. Where the heck you live that bills are less than $3,000 a month? What do we expect? So that sister probably going to have to help that man pay the bills. And she'll have no problem with it. She'll help you. So you don't think she's worth a nice gift and she's going to help you for the rest of your life since you don't want to do nothing? The average bills, and let's take a poll. We're just talking about this issue. What is the average monthly cost for a family who's progressive in America? They're trying to do something and trying to build and live decently with kids. And what's the average bills a month? Expenses. Would we be safe to say between $3,000 and $4,000 a month? Would that be safe to say?
I can't answer. All I know is when they see them stats where they had the poverty line, then there's a dot underneath, then it says you are here. That's why I'm at.
No, but I'm saying, so we're talking about $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month average. Let's keep it real, right? And if we're living under that, we're struggling. And anyone know if you're making less than $3,000 in America, you're struggling. You know that. That's hard life. Let's keep it real. So $5,000 is the average expenses for a family. A middle class family, lower middle class, $4,000 or $5,000 a month. That's what they live in. That's their stuff. Between rent, whatever they got, cars, the kids, games, sports, food, clothes. You got $4,000 or $5,000 coming. So what you talking about? You talking about somebody you're gonna be with all your life and you complaining about $5,000 1 month or 2 months worth of bills? Come on, man. I just don't see it. I mean, make it make sense to me. How? But I do know when the guy want to get a sister for a G, 500, Surah Al-Fatiha, or Ikhlas, or Sahih Bukhari, most likely that stuff ain't gonna last more than 2 years, maybe 3. From experience, is that what you've seen most of the time?
I've seen people give a Sahih Bukhari and flowers and get the flowers back before they even die.
And here's the point. If you're around good brothers, that's easy. They're going to work and show you how to make money, show you how to do things, help you, right? But I don't see it. I know my man, and there's some sisters here can know my people will give up that $5,000. My people give up that $5,000. It's some happy sisters. They're not saying that to me. Thank you, brother Imam. All right, this ain't the $5,000 show.
Yeah, no, it's just great turn.
But I love my brothers. Hey, bro, step it up. That's all I say. Step it up. Step it up, bro.
Yeah, so and speaking of stepping up, hit that link, let's meet our goal tonight, inshallah. Where we at on it? How much have we raised?
Hey, bro, we struggling to get $5,000.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, brothers, I don't mind having a debate about this issue because everybody want to quote hadith, find this or find that. These people were building communities. Those Sahaba you quoting, they was on the battlefield. Those companions you quote, they were sacrificing their wealth and their life fi sabilillah. They're not like us. So I don't know where we get off comparing ourselves to those people.
Hey, this one comment, how in Islam there's some certain terms when you mention they already know you're talking about. Like if you say al-hafid, you know what you talk about. They said, can the Imam explain this? So you know what they talking about. You.
No, I'm saying that.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
I'm gonna share something that's probably one of my favorite sayings of Imam Ali, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, the companion, Ali ibn Abi Talib. They came to Ali and they said, we got all these problems going on. During the time of Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman, we ain't have all this stuff, fighting and all these seditions. And Imam Ali, he said words that should be written in gold. He said, they had men like me and I got men like you. That's how he answered them. Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, had men like me, and I got men like you. I think that's a mouthful right there.
Okay, man, I think we need to get back on topic, man, this last portion of the show, because this is going to go left.
It ain't going to go left. Let's have it.
Nah, man, I don't feel like
it already went left.
Listen, let me ask the sisters. Just a question. Do you want a man who wouldn't even consider giving you a $5,000 dowry? That's just a legitimate question. To the sisters, do you want a man who won't even consider giving you a $5,000 dowry? Do you want a man like that? That's a question. That's the sisters. I ain't saying he's going to give it to you. I said he won't even consider it. You're not worth it. That's not a set-up question. It's a question, yes or no, right? That's a lot of no's. Okay. So, brothers, I don't know what you want to do with that. That's the women speaking. That's the women speaking. They ain't say he's not even considerate. Man, that tells me a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't a woman, but I'm just saying that's the women speaking. And I don't disagree with them. Uh-oh. Rosalinda said, get lost. Boy, she said, look, get lost. Go play games somewhere else.
But that, go ahead, man.
Oh, that's what the sister said.
Yeah, because that.
And do not want it for my daughter or my granddaughters. And Hey.
You know, because this kind of ties into our topic, though. You know, because we talked about sacrifice. Because as a man, you know, we're supposed to be willing to sacrifice anything. You know, just imagine the Sahaba at the time of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Just
Faheem,
imagine.
your mic works. Jump in, Faheem. Let me put you in. Here you go. Sometimes maybe when you're talking on the type, you can't get it in. You're welcome to jump in. The microphone's open. No one's going to duck the discussion. You're welcome. They're gonna let you talk. And go ahead, say your opinion. Maybe you're being misunderstood. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Yeah, come on into the TV room, cuz.
You're welcome. Ahlan wa sahlan. Our doors are wide open. I'm really serious about what I'm saying, so I'm not like joking. It ain't a game. I'm married, so I'm not looking for a wife, right? So it ain't no game for me. I'm not looking for a wife. I'm happy, right?
Come down here to the end of D block, man, down to the end of the tier.
Trust
Let's
me.
talk about it.
So it ain't like Imam is running game. He's trying to get some sisters. I don't need no. I'm broke. I can't afford no more sisters. Right? But I tell you what, them sisters can get whatever they want from me. I don't have enough to give them what they deserve. And whatever I have is theirs. Because guess what? Whatever they have is mine. That's what kind of sisters I have.
Put the link in there again for Faheem. He's trying to get in. He must have missed it when you just put it in there.
Yeah, I'm dying to hear this, brother.
He said, put the link.
Yeah, you just put it, but he probably missed it.
Hey, Missy, let me put it 10 times. Right now. Hey.
He didn't miss it. He ducked it.
He's welcome to get in. I mean, we family. We can talk. We ain't like, you know what I mean? We talk. We kick it.
This is the Black Man's Roundtable. There's a lot of elements to this. It go from knowledge, it go from discussion, and it can very well end up as a roasting session too, cuz.
Look at Miriam. She said, you don't got 5K, get out of here. At the end of the day, there's a difference between having 5K in your back pocket and being an adult and knowing how to make money when you need it. Whoa! From the mouths of youth come wisdoms. It's a big difference being an adult and doing what you got to do.
Well, here's a couple questions in here that we should not overlook. Because while we wait for Tina to figure out how to click on the link that's 10 times in the chat box, we got a couple questions.
Wasn't Faheem in there before? Or no, that's another Faheem.
I don't know.
Just click the link, Faheem. It's a link. Just click it, and it'll bring you right on. No one's blocking you out. You're welcome. And anyone else is welcome. I mean, we could talk. We brothers and sisters. Like, these ain't fake imams you're dealing with.
Just click on the link.
Grassroots African-American imams. The same thing you get on this, well, no, it might be a little bit different person, right? Because online, we got to be a little politically correct.
Yeah.
Probably first, man, you don't get out my face, right? You're like a whole different dude live. You're like, man, what kind of imam is him? The one who called you on your bull crap, right? Nah, we brothers and we sisters, we family, man. We could kick it. No one's afraid to have a real conversation. And at the end of the day, it's just our opinion. We could be wrong.
Yeah. Oh, he called you smart mouth, but he still ain't smart enough how to click the link that's 20 times running in the box. Okay, we get it.
What'd he say? It don't work?
He called you smart mouth.
Hey, call me whatever you want. I'm not offended. Just get that $5,000. Right? Why are you calling me smart mouth? I'm not offended. I don't know. Somebody help Brother Faheem out.
Yeah. Matter of fact, put your Cash App up, man. Don't 5K in there real quick. Yeah, but I was saying how this ties into the topic we're talking about, how to, have resilient communities. Just imagine during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and he gave the Sahabas a number. Just imagine he gave them a number, man, they would have got that plus something. He would just leave it general. Who would give for Allah? And they were racing to give, ordering their wives to take off jewelry, just going to get everything, because the command was made, And that's the kind of, go ahead.
Where's Fatima? She put something. That's a good question. Because maybe they misunderstanding me. So maybe they misunderstanding me. I think maybe she got a good question. Where's Sister Fatima at? Let me look at it. Is there questions in there, Imam Faheem? You see it?
Yeah, it's a question in there.
Yeah.
It says, if a brother would consider...
Can we post it?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah, you on the boards, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm...
Well, let me read it till you find it. It says, if a brother would consider the 5K dowry but doesn't have it, does that make him inadequate for marriage? Maybe I'm not understanding.
All right, here you go. That's a good question. If a brother would consider but doesn't have it, does not make him inadequate for marriage? Maybe I'm not understanding. Right. What I'm saying, I'm not saying that 5,000 is the measure of a good husband. I'm not saying that. What I'm talking about is that we need a standard of responsibility and accountability in our communities going into marriage. Marriage should not be some cheap thing just to fulfill my desires. And that's what has become, unfortunately, in our communities. Too much. Brothers just want to have relations with no responsibility. This is a problem. And sisters, unfortunately, allow brothers to do that. And then we, as imams, always end up with the problem. So I'm saying, when I'm mentioning that, show some kind of sense of responsibility besides you just talking about I'm on Quran and Sunnah. Right? I'm on Quran and Sunnah. Yeah, okay, now what? When you finish Quran and Sunnah, we in the world. You got to pay bills. You got to deal with life, and we got stuff, and I got children and real stuff. That's all I'm saying. So if you're not even considering making a real gesture towards the woman, what type of man you want to be? I just wonder. And from experience, not a good one. From what I see, imams, do you see kind of what I'm saying from your own experience?
Yeah, I see it. I said this before. I don't, the dowry doesn't equate like the value of the man or the woman, but just to have some high himma, we need it as a people. Granted, when I got married, I'm going on my 24th year now. I paid maybe 10% of what we talking about, but I'm a special kind of dude. You know what I mean? I walked up on her, I pursued her, you know what I mean? I went and talked to her father, and I looked him in his eye and said, man, I know this is kind of seem like it's rushed, but I'm going to take care of your daughter. You know what I mean? And I had every intention on taking that woman under my wing and making sure that she got everything at my disposal. And I ain't had 5K then, but I done spent 5K many times over. And I'm willing to give it. If I have 5K in my hand right now, she's getting at least 4 of it with no problem. There's no crying. What you gonna do with it? No, you got it. You need 5 more? Okay. Just don't watch the news tonight because my silhouette might be on there, but I'm going to get it.
Imam Faheem, now be honest.
Yeah.
How many men do you see like yourself from your experience? Be honest.
Man, I can't even get. I can't even get these brothers. They act like they can't even buy a diamond ring. A diamond ring. You know women like ice, man. Why would you even why would you offer her a kimar? She can get that donated from the sisters. Man, go get that woman a Kobe piece, man.
So, I mean, this wasn't the show, but I think it's a concern.
So that's what we mean, Sister Fatima. No, the kind of man that ain't gonna balk about it. You know what I mean? Especially when guys have it. You know, because of a person when he's feeling a woman, he know he got a good woman. Man, there ain't nothing he won't do or try to do. He gonna meet you halfway, and the part that you can't cover, the man is gonna cover the rest. That's the cloth.
Y'all know Brother Hussein?
No.
Y'all don't know him? Imam Naim, you know him? Here goes Brother Faheem. Faheem, you gonna have all your say. You don't gotta go crazy. Kick it, bro. Assalamu alaikum.
Wait, first of all, I'm not. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Assalamu alaikum. Can y'all hear me?
Wa alaikum salam.
Yeah, we hear you.
I ain't finna go crazy, man. I ain't finna go crazy.
Man, show your face, man.
Hold on, I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to put this camera on too. All right.
You ain't gotta go through all that, bro. Hey, you look good.
Yeah, come on out here in this yard. Come on out here in this yard.
Yeah, man, what's up?
Come on out here in this yard.
Where you from? Quickly, where you from?
Hey, I'm born and raised in Chicago, my brother. But
Chi-town, all right.
Yep. But I've been in Texas. I've been in Texas for the last 20 years.
All right, so behave yourself because we got connections in Texas. We can reach you.
Come on, give me. All right. First of all, let me just say this. It's a plum, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. It's a pleasure talking with you, brother.
Yes, sir.
My thing was this. I heard when the Imam said that, and it's not me. First of all, whichever one of you brothers said, send my cash app so y'all gonna send you 5K. No, bro, I'll send you 5K.
Well, send it then. I said that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I put my cash up. Put it there right now. Matter of fact, put 5K.
Wait.
You said wait. No. You said no. You said I could talk. You said I could talk.
I'm good.
You said I could talk.
He said that. I didn't say that. Put the thing on my calendar. Put it on my calendar right now.
Go ahead.
Let me talk.
Go ahead.
All right. Now, I said that because I recognized somebody was trying to be fly with me. I'm being fly right back. I don't need no money. What I was saying was that what I said this is my point now. Let's skip over all that. My point was this: when the Imam said that if a man couldn't afford 5K for a sister, then he wasn't a real man. Now I know a lot of good brothers, man. I know brothers that I would marry my daughter to, my mama to, my sister to, but I know that they don't have 5K sitting on the side. Everybody's not fortunate. We go back to the 5, 6, 7 years from then. I was in poverty, so I know how that feels. Right now, Allah has pulled me out of that. So I've been there. And I was married before to a sister that I couldn't afford to marry, but she accepted what I had, you dig what I'm saying? But now that's not a problem. So when you said that about the brothers, I was speaking on behalf of the brothers. I thought that was an unfair assessment of a man's manhood. Then when you came back and you asked the question to the sisters, you asked them, would you want to marry a man who would even consider giving you 5K? That's a whole different question. That's a setup question. I don't think it's a man alive that would want to give his queen $1 million. He would consider giving her $3 million if he had it. So when you put the word consider in there, that kind of twisted the question and kind of played a bias to it. I wouldn't want my daughter with no man that wouldn't consider giving her that. But the premise that we started with wasn't about what he would consider to do. The premise was, as you said, all due respect, you said that a man that couldn't pay $5,000 to get married, you said he was not a real man. And that part, that's the part that I took my stance on.
Okay.
That's all.
Hey, Brother Faheem, let me help you with that, right? This conversation is an old conversation. So we were actually, what we were referring to, even though it wasn't explicitly stated, is a group of brothers, you might not be aware, that said our women are not worth that. That's what we were talking about.
I missed it, and that's why I needed clarity.
Yeah,
Really
that's the clarity. It was context behind the conversation. This is an old conversation. It's not new. It is
okay, but
months
I don't
ago.
remember. I don't. Maybe that was a different conversation before I got on. But I didn't hear any of that when I got on. You did.
Oh yeah. So
now, let me just add this. Let me just add this. Personally, I've been in agreement with you guys. I think Muslim women are the best women in the world. I think they are the cream of the crop. And there's no woman on the planet, as far as I'm concerned, that compares to what they call the worst of a Muslim woman. So I do hold our women in high esteem, man. And if I had $1 million for a dowry, well, I would willingly give it to her and feel proud about it. You dig what I'm saying? So I want the sisters to know that. But I was dealing with this manhood being mentioned. I wasn't in his pocket. Because like I said, I was in poverty before. And somebody told me that I wasn't a man because I didn't have 5K. I'd have felt terrible about that, bro.
Nah, that wasn't what was being said. Nah, that wasn't what was being said. What was really being said, and I'm glad that's why we got to talk so we can get clarification. Because some brothers don't have $5,000, but those brothers who don't have $5,000 are not opposed to doing what they got to do. If that was the dowry and they wanted that sister, let's work on it, right? That's why we said helping brothers, right? So. Right. So that's what was really, but this is, like I said, it was context because this is an old conversation. It's not a new one. So I'm sorry for that's why we open. We can talk. Now you can understand. So now.
Yeah, I wish you know.
Yeah. Is this the context? That's all.
All right.
Because believe me, I'll tell you a secret. My dowry got raised on me after this conversation. Well,
I'm just gonna before I leave you brothers, I just want to let you brothers know that I love all you brothers for the sake of Allah, and I don't mind kicking it with y'all because even though y'all kind of gangster, you dig what I'm saying? But gangsters love gangsters. Gangsters love gangsters.
I like that.
You dig what I'm saying? I got love for y'all. I got love for all y'all brothers.
I'm the sucker.
I'm talking about, in the past tense. We soldiers. We all soldiers. Soldiers, baby.
Today's dowry is not tomorrow's dowry. The price just went up on you, man.
Anyway, I need to shut up before I mess around and give out before I give out too much information and I can't get married for under 10K. But they find out so I better be quiet.
But you already put your foot in your mouth. You said you would give 5,000. Yo, bro, we need that. So there's the cash.
I'm gonna
you said you would give us $5,000.
I'll give 5K to a Muslim woman, to a wife. But I give.
You said to the brother who said he'd give you 5K. That was Imam Faheem. You said you would give 5K. We heard you. It's on record.
I was responding to him when he said he gonna put 5 on my cash app. He told me that first.
Listen,
matter of fact, I'm gonna put my cash app in there.
No, $ Faheem Lee, $5,000 and $5 so it can clear right away.
The brother told me to send him my cash app. You did.
All right, we love you, bro. Stay with us.
Too, man.
We family, bro. And hopefully, range one day we come out to Texas and we bust it up face to face.
Hey man, inshallah, I plan on visiting y'all. I plan on visiting y'all soon. Inshallah, I plan on visiting y'all soon, bro.
Our doors are always open, brother. We're not just online. We real people on the real ground with real people.
That's what's up. All right.
All right.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you, bro.
All right.
Oh, that was love, man. I like that.
Okay, where we at? Secretary of Finance. Where we at?
Yeah, I think we hit our goal. I mean, we can spend the next few minutes.
We got a few minutes. Anyone else? She said this show is so black.
No, this show ain't black. It's blackity black.
This show is so black.
That's how we.
What else you expect, Rocky?
You what?
Rocky, you expect us to be something other than us?
You got to speak with your Blackistani accent.
Yeah, we got to do what we got to do, man.
Yeah.
We need this as a people. We need to be us. It's okay to be black and Muslim.
Yeah, no, I don't know, brother Fatin. Maybe it's time to plug the
thing for tomorrow, right?
No, not that, in February.
Right,
and tomorrow and Saturday. We got a few things.
Saturday, that's closer.
Okay.
Right, let me put this up. So Saturday, there's the event. We will be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on November 27th, which is Saturday, from 11 a.m. That's p.m. Them brothers, man.
No, Imam, I mean follow instructions. The flyer said 11 p.m. We need to show up at 11 p.m.
We overnight.
The brothers made a mistake, brother. Or the sisters, they're going to blame it on the sisters, I guarantee you, right? 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's 1201 South 23rd Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So, inshallah, the imams, all of us will be there to come join and be together, inshallah. So that is this Saturday in Philadelphia. And we look forward. So the topic, exploring the aqidah and methodology of the Salaf. And it's also food, get together, hang out, be black, do that type of stuff.
Good food. They be having good food.
They be having good food. Yeah, boy.
Good clean food.
They be putting it down.
Yeah.
And a lot to eat. We can really be black. Take your plate home and everything.
It's be the post Thanksgiving reflections.
Post Thanksgiving reflections. So you're welcome for that. And then coming up in February, in Atlantic City, February 28th to the 18th through the 20th, is the 4th African American Islamic Summit, which is the Covenant of Hearts, uniting our people. And some of the guests are the three amigos, Imam Dawood Walid, Sheikh Aisha Pram, Imam Siraj Wahaj, Sheikh Abdul Karim Yahya, our beloved sister from the Dope Muslim Woman podcast that I encourage you to support. I think she's doing great work. Sister Sabria Mills, the beloved Imam of the ATL, Imam Suleiman Hamid, and Sheikh Hamza Abdul Malik from Midtown Mosque in Memphis, Tennessee, and many others. This is just beginning. I'm really lagging behind on this summit with people.
Hey,
but
it was a typo on that flyer too, man.
Huh?
It was a typo on that flyer too.
Oh,
yeah, because they got us up there. They got us up there like we the top billing, man. And all those great illustrious speakers on the bottom, we need to switch that around.
Man, they was before you the man now, Imam. Boom back. They used to have the scene. Now you the man.
I'm the man. Oh.
And pretty soon,
you got the juice now.
You got the juice.
Pretty soon, that's when the big bucks come, and I'll be on the register.
The flyer, I think, is on our website, isn't it? The flyer is on Masjid Muhammad's website. Do you have a link? So you can look at the website. The flyer is there. And it's going to be more information coming out. Like, we're in the process of putting it together. So December is going to be like massive advertising. And we ask you to spread it and, you'll be a great gathering, inshallah ta'ala.
You mentioned something for tomorrow, Imam Amin.
What's tomorrow?
Hold on, can I say something about February 1st? I mean, before y'all go to that.
Go ahead.
I want to encourage the people, because some people, they may not come, or because they coming from a distance, and maybe the hotel is a little expensive or whatever, and the hotels are expensive, right? We should do like we used to do back in the days, man. Like, if we were traveling someplace, there was an event, a lecture happening like this, stop thinking about yourself. Get a handful of people from your city and drive out there in the caravan and split the money, the transportation costs and the hotel fees, and just come. Do it like that. Even if there's not enough people from your city, maybe along your route there's other people that want to come. Stop and pick them up, and split the hotel fee. You don't want to miss it. Everyone who missed the post-Fajr reflection cookout regrets it. So when we come together, it ain't like being in person. I mean, it ain't like being virtual online. When we come together in person, it's a whole different energy. It's I just can't explain it. So just come, just organize with the people in your area and come. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, what else we got, Imam Amin?
Muti is, offering the masjid. I mean, mashallah. Okay, brother. No, but he's right. And for brothers, and there's also the ability to stay in the masjid. And for sisters, like you said, we come together sometimes. We can work it out. We got to learn to be a family and make things work, as Imam Naeem said. What we're trying to do is extremely important and needed. It's important and needed. Y'all wouldn't come here every week if y'all wouldn't donate if y'all didn't see something that we all need. You wouldn't do it. So we know how important it is what we're trying to do. And inshallah, we could do it.
Oh, yeah. What about the survey?
Oh, where's the survey? It's up there. She put it up. The link is there.
We black folks, you got to do it a few times.
Okay. Anybody else have any last comments? And the survey is we're just trying to get to know each other more. What Sophia's got offended about? Y'all haven't realized we're not soft people. We could take it just like we give it out. Right? Y'all did realize that by right now, right?
Nah, I'm soft. Y'all be hurting my feelings out here.
Yeah, man.
Is the survey link on YouTube?
Yeah, it shows on there. Survey link is on YouTube. It goes up too. It's up there. Oh, Khadija didn't get to speak, Imam Naeem. Why are you blocking her out? She has something on her mind.
How did I block her? I didn't block her out.
Khadija, you want something you have to say that your dad is trying to get in the way? You're welcome. Or are you going to pass?
I'm a punk. She can speak.
Because I heard her talking about she's not allowed to get the mic. No one's going to stop her from speaking. Unless you said you're banned from speaking and I ain't know about it.
Yeah.
Oh! She said I'm holding my tongue but not my fingers. That's Khadija. inshallah, we remind you to support the 3453 show, 3453 show. They are doing, they're trying to do something positive. Be patient. We want them to do stuff. We got to get out their way. Got to give them a chance. We got to endure what we may find bitter for a better success. Right? Right? So this show is every Sunday at what time?
4 a.m.
What? Hey, Khadija,
really.
what time is your show? 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Every Sunday at 4
Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. Please support our youth. In fact, they're all of our daughters. What a mess. Right here. So I don't know what we was thinking about allowing that to happen. But go for it. Right? We need to support them. We want to know how to help them. Listen to them. They'll tell you. You might not like what they say, but they're going to tell you. And then adjust, right? You got to stop imprisoning their voices.
You got Sophia's sons on there too.
Oh,
Taller than Sahir. You got to watch Sophia. She be outside the camera.
Yeah, it's instructing them. They be looking at the kid, or you know, looking at the side like, what should I say? What should I...
before they go on, you better not embarrass me. You better not embarrass me.
Look, you see a shadow. You see a shadow in the background moving like. What's that? A ceiling fan?
And you wonder why they like this. Y'all don't see what's going on off the camera.
She's the teleprompter for him.
Nah, let them kids live, man.
Nah, they're good boys, alhamdulillah.
We got to learn to be us. It's very important. If we want to make a change, we got to learn to be us. All right, Imams, I think that's it.
Sorry about that.
You read what Khadija said?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You want to hear from us, understand it's not going to be in a way that you're most comfortable. Speaking from your heart rarely is, especially at our ages. Especially when I didn't get a chance to talk and you just gave me a mic, boy, I'm giving it to you. Sometimes I'm going to go overboard with it, but that's part of it. That's part of it. But
I mentioned on this platform before how when I used to go to Imam's meetings, when I was around her age, and I had the audacity to speak a couple of times.
All right, so how we got anything else?
No, that's it.
So in our Wu-Tang voice, yeah, to the genius, take us out of here.
Okay. That's much clearer than that stuff I was listening to this morning. Man, I was like, what the heck is it? Took me about 10 minutes to figure what he was talking about. The rap they got going on now, that stuff so fast. It is the noise.
Mumble rap.
What's the name of that kind of, what's the sound they got now?
It's mumble rap.
Mumble rap?
I don't know. Is that what they call trap?
It changes every,
It got a lot of country voices, like the people sound country. I guess the big rappers are from the South or somewhere.
Every time one of them young rappers die, the whole thing changes.
You mean the style changes?
It seemed like it, man, because so many of them are dying, man. It's, sad.
Well, Mariam Rose, we're really willing to listen if you're willing to talk. She said, and we are pretty smart and got good ideas. If the elders are willing to listen, I'm all ears. When are you going to talk?
The main one who don't want to say nothing.
Yeah, right.
And you ain't,
ears.
And you ain't that young, say.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Imam, you ready to take us out of here?
Talking to Imam Faheem, right?
To the genius.
The genius among the crew.
Ah, man, alhamdulillah.
Oh, wait a minute.
I knew that was going to happen. That's why I hesitated.
Look at that. I'm using my dictatorship card. This Sunday, you are invited. There it is. Hey, Khadija, can we get an approval? A second the motion? I say, bring her on. Imam Naeem, you approve?
Of course I approve.
Where's Sister Samira? I know she's in the back. Director the camera.
Still a fag order.
I got a story to tell y'all about Samira.
Uh-oh, confessions.
Yeah.
There you go, Miriam. No backing out now. They got you.
We was doing a radio program. We was living in Philly, right? You know, we had a radio. We was one of a group of hosts for Islamic radio program in Philly. We were in the studio, right? And I'm talking live on the air, and Samira's trying to communicate something with me. And she's mouthing it to me, and she got a niqab on. Like, I'm supposed to understand that, right? And she got frustrated and threw something at me in the studio. See this type of abuse I got to deal with? That's your girl, Samira. Pious Patty. Don't let stuff happen.
Okay. All right, let's close out, Imam.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
I got to go do my real job.
Allahu Akbar.
I got to go do my real job.
Alhamdulillah. Was it hard keeping them quiet for the program?
Oh, I ain't there. I'm getting ready to go.
Subhanallah. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah. 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 We want to first, before we close out, we want to thank all of you for participating with us. And we just want to remind all of you that, you know, this is the Black, emphasis on Black, Imam's Roundtable. So we don't try to pretend to be anyone else. And you know, whenever Black folks get together and talk, sometimes voices get raised, voices get elevated, and all types of things. But that's just how we talk, and it's all love. It's not coming from a place of hate or you know, or anything like that. It's all love. So if anybody took anything that was said on here wrong, or as an insult, or as an attack, I can speak for myself and my two other colleagues that was not our intention. That we wasn't trying to come across like that. We just tried to be honest and straightforward and real. Well, alhamdulillah. So we thank you for joining us. We thank you for all of your consistent contributions, and we hope to meet all of you who we have not met in person yet. We hope to meet you all at some point in time, if not in February, maybe in your city someplace or close to your city. So, alhamdulillah, this thing, it started virtually, but it don't have to remain virtual. So, we really need to get to know each other, and we have to build and strengthen what Shaitan and his helpers are actively trying to destroy. Alhamdulillah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah, put blessings in this gathering. May Allah put blessings and barakah in our family, in our individual communities, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all of us from the shaitan. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wal asr innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawassaw bil haqqi wa tawassaw bis sabr. Al-Fatiha. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.